This episode of All in the Delivery is brought to you by Haley Bug Creations. Any sticker or decal that you want, she can make. You want to customize? She can do that too. Check out her Etsy shop. The link is in the episode description. There you will find a large variety of different decals and stickers made from premium vinyl that is sure to last. So guys, get yourself or someone you know, a Schmedlex, Smiley, or whatever company they work for. Get them a sticker, okay? You will not be disappointed. They will not be disappointed by the quality of these decals. And now, let's get on with the show. What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 99. Oh, my goodness. Woo! Guys, we've been talking about it, I don't even know when, 91 maybe? We're like, oh my God, we're almost to episode 100. The next one is the big one. But first, you guys know what I'm about to do. We're about to go around the table here. It's just one that I got to say hello to. And we'll explain a little bit. Guys, my co-host down in West by God, Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, how's it going, buddy?
Oh, dude, it is, like you said, you're going to explain this new shit in a minute. It's pretty wild, which I guess in the latter half, in the triple-digit episodes, probably going to see a lot more of it. But anyways,
Nice.
all's good, brother. As this is being recorded, the second week back, and a lot better than the first, dude. I didn't feel as lost. I felt weird coming back. That was the longest I've ever been off work, which isn't a bad thing, but still, like, to come back adjustment wise, it was definitely different. But so far so good. All's good, brother.
Awesome. And that's all we're going to say hello to because, regularly we would probably have Joe and Amy on here, but let me explain to you guys what we're doing. So we've switched platforms from where or how we're recording our podcast episodes now. And it is, I could just fucking play the thing, huh? Let's hear it.
Powered by Riverside FM.
So
listen, Low Tech Tommy here. Just let me just say this real quick. Low Tech Tommy here is just mesmerized by all the shit I can do with this fucking stuff. So I'll let Dave keep going.
Yeah, so we're using this new platform called Riverside FM, and it's basically made by podcasters for podcasters. And so what's going on now is it's got a producer spot, which obviously you guys know because we've been introducing them before. Nate, and then so the producer spot, right? Nate sits in the producer spot. Now the thing with Riverside, I'm sorry to say this, everybody, but you aren't gonna be hearing Nate's voice anymore because he is behind the scenes, literally. He's not mad about it. He preferred me not even ever, actually introduce him. But Nate,
Dave just reels him out.
We know you're there, so thank you, buddy, as always, for joining us.
So fucking ecstatic. Well said.
What's up, everybody? No, and so that's what's gonna be going on here. But the Rogans are not with us tonight, so just Luke and I. And so we're gonna be trying this thing out. Like Luke said, you're probably gonna see a little bit more, of us on throughout your social media pages. Because another great thing about this new platform too is it's so easy to mark clips, like live while we're recording, to be able to mark a clip and then have that saved separately from the entire show. that we'll be able to just take that clip and upload it to social media, whether it be something funny. We can preview, upcoming episodes for you guys. We could do all that and just, give you guys sneak peeks of everything. So we're very excited. We are very excited, to say the least.
Like I fucking I feel like, and I'm being sincere when I fucking say this, because they heard it. It's not like this is just the platform, so they put their name into shit. But dude, I feel like Wolverine after he got the adamantium claws right now with this shit, because all this stuff, like Mark stuff, dude, just not to trail too far off, because as I think, I don't know, I would say most listeners know, episode 100 was pre-recorded. Wise advice from the missus, from Danielle, and that was one of many solid pieces of advice that she gave us, because that was totally the right move.
Mm-hmm.
But this is we posted a on the podcast account on Instagram for the we what did we say with the top 3 episodes
Yeah.
that we're just it's just going to be fast, just to kind of pinpoint a few things, because 100 is pre-recorded already,
And boy, is it
call
a
it a mini,
long
but
one for you guys. It's a
yeah,
long
it
one. So
is.
buckle up next week, because boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, all you guys, it's going to be over fucking 3 hours long. So get ready for that one, because it is, whoo! Strap yourselves in.
I just to give a tad semi spoiler, it's not really anything they'll know, but when they listen to it, they'll laugh. John Hilligus is going to get a chuckle in that episode 100.
Fuck.
And that's all I'll say. John, when you when you talk out, when you hear this, please
I'm so
well,
depressed.
if you may have to message me on Facebook or message the podcast, but just let me know when you hear it, because I know you'll laugh.
God damn it. It was in like the first 5
Anyways.
minutes of the episode too.
I
He's gonna
think
be like,
it
this
was.
is fucking great already. Oh man. Yeah. So guys, yeah, so we're excited. We're excited to be on this platform and using it. So just to bring you guys more content, first of all, and it saves time for us personally. And that's a lot of stuff that a lot of time we really don't have much of anymore.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't going to try to trail too much down, but I have to say it real quick,
Yeah.
because it's such a big difference, because I don't want to trash anything, because I always thought Headliner was solid when I used it to make videos.
Right.
But dude, you have to pinpoint shit in it compared to this. Fuck.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is like I said, dude, I feel like Wolverine after he got the adamantium.
So yeah, guys, I hope you guys are gonna enjoy the stuff we got coming to you. But first, let's get some stuff out of the way, huh? What do you say? We first got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. All right, guys, thank you so much for your guys' continued support. So shout out to Tony, Samvi, Ashley, Andrew, Fernando, Nate, Clement, Tad, Luke, Ryan, Will, Chuck, Jacob, Sean, David, Kayla, and RJ. Thank you guys so much. And if you want to become a Patreon subscriber, click the link in the description of this episode, in the episode notes. You guys will find it there. But thank you so much for your continued support, as always.
Absolutely. God, I love saying that word so much that that might be Willow's first. Nah, shit, that would be impressive if that was Willow's first word. Damn, I might have a
That would be impressive.
I might have a bona fide genius on my hands if that's her very first word, but we'll find out.
And also, guys, don't forget, okay, because like we said, we want to bring you guys more content. We want to bring, more videos and fun stuff like that. We're also going to be sending that out through our email list. So go to the website, deliveringgreatness.com. Sign up for the email list. Don't worry, we're not going to be sending you stupid emails. every day. It's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be little things here and there. Stay informed. New episode releases, all that stuff. We're going to start getting a hold of the email list. So head over to the deliveringgreatness.com website. You can find that link also in the episode notes of this episode. So go and sign up. All right. Enough of that, hey? All that fun stuff. Hey, Luke's Instagram. I'm sorry, but we got to bring it up, guys. For those that don't know,
fuck, I guess we have to.
For those that don't know, if you haven't noticed yet, Luke's Instagram unfortunately got hacked by a hacker. And as of right now,
not that good of a hacker. I just was fucking stupid, but go ahead. Yes.
We don't have to talk about that part. But
yeah.
As of right now, he doesn't have access to it. So if you guys see any funky things and people asking for screenshots and shit, it's not Luke. And I mean, it's not Luke.
And I didn't make $10,000 in 6 seconds or with Bitcoin or whatever the fuck it is. Man, if you brought it up, so I gotta say it, man. When I was able to get back in, but these people put the fucking post up and I took it down. So if I wouldn't have took it down, I think I would have been able to change everything back before they could have, or figured out what
this isn't me.
I could have figured out what to maybe do, but then I changed the password and got back on, got kicked off, put the password in real quick, got back on, got kicked back off, put the password in, bam, authorization code didn't come to my email, went to some other one. I was like, damn. I was like, Low Tech Tommy's just so overmatched in the digital cyber world. And all I would have had to do, I think, was put on the 2-way authorization, which is, I think, what they did. But when this gets released, as of right now, yes, it is somebody, asking, fucking calling. I've had people, on Monday, especially, I had I deliver a few different areas that I normally don't deliver through the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
A couple people I went to high school with, and a few of them followed me on Instagram, and it's not like, I don't want to say that we're not good friends, because we definitely go way back and stuff, but it's not like we're calling each other every day or anything. So I see two of them on the road, and they both say, yeah, you were just like they were out with their kids, out with the family and shit, and they were like, yeah, your Instagram was just kept video calling me over and over and over and over again. I was like, holy fucking shit. So that's what that makes me feel like, damn, dude. I've told people, everybody that I know has told me that anybody that's brought it up to me or messaged me, everybody's reported it. Right. So I don't know. Right. I'm still waiting, but yeah, it's do not fucking accept nothing from, or even tell them to go fuck themselves.
That's
sideways. Yeah. They'll block you because they're just so fucking, their feelings got hurt.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about episode 99, that what we're going to be doing for you guys today, okay? We're going to be playing some previous interviews that we had. It was voted the top 3 that you guys enjoyed, if you will. So and also a couple stories as well. There'll be 2 stories. So let's do this real quick, huh? Let's just hop right into it. Here is the very first time I told my helper story, way back on episode 3. That was featuring Misty Wellburn. So if you guys want to go back and hear the full episode, go all the way back to episode 3. Okay, here is my helper story.
I had a kid who didn't really talk much. Up Chick 47 had, didn't really talk much. And me, I'm a talkative guy. I guess that's why I'm on doing a podcast with you guys, right? I can talk. So, what ended up happening was, we're out there, and actually, let me bring it back a little bit. At the building, this helper was another driver's helper, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna give him to you today." I was like, "Oh, great, all right, cool, yeah, sure, I'll use the help." So I went up to the driver, and I was like, "Oh, how's your helper?" He goes, "Oh, he's great. He's great." I was like, "Okay, awesome." So then we leave. I pick him up, and we're out there, and this kid is slow as shit. This kid is so slow. I can't even tell you how slow this kid would walk. Like, it looked like he was going in slow motion. And I kept telling him, I was like, "Buddy, dude, I need you to hustle, man." You know what I mean? I'm depending on you to get me back at a decent time tonight. Let's go. Get those feet moving. Let's go. And so what ended up happening was, I ended like a couple more stops down. The kid's still walking slow. I'm like, this kid's driving me crazy. I took a video of him walking to a house to show my supervisor. I was like, I'm ready to kick this kid right off the truck. Like, I'm about to be done with this kid, right? And I have a very rural route. I'm out there in the woods, and I've said it on the podcast in previous episodes that there's not a convenient mart. There's not anything on my route. It's all woods. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not even in the next town over, like where all the fun is. I'm out there in the woods, which is fine, but it is fun out there. And anyways, so I call my boss, and I'm like, "Dude, I'm ready to get done with this kid, dude. I need you to come get him. Like, I need you to." He's like, "Why?" I'm like, "Dude, he's slow. This, that." I give him the whole 9 yards. I was like, "I took a video. I sent it to you. Take a peek." All right, well, tell him you got to hustle, and then let me know how it goes. I was like, "Fuck, right, whatever." Here I am telling the kid again, "Dude, I need you to hustle. Let's go." Nothing. The kid does not hustle. So what ended up happening? We got to this one address. I said, "This one goes around back." He went around back, boom, drove off, left him right at the stop, left his ass right at the stop, right? But listen, it gets better, okay? Just when you don't think that's the end of it, it's not the end of this kid, all right? So I leave. I'm delivering for another like half hour on my own. I'm moving now. I'm like, "Yeah, this is great. I'm moving at my pace. Let's go. Let's get it done." And then my boss calls me, and he's like, "Dave," and I was like, "What's up?" And he goes, "So the kid's mother's on the phone," and he goes, "And the kid said, he's been in this driveway for about a half hour now, and he's just wondering, if you went to go run a couple stops off real quick or what." And I was like, "No, I left him." And this was the second on-car, okay? This was not my primary on-car. My primary on-car, I called and told him I left him, and he laughed. He was like, "Great." You know what I mean? So because we all know there's lack of communication that goes on at these buildings, right? So, the second one that called me didn't know that I left them. And I was like, "I left them." And he was like, "You what?" I was like, "I left them." And so then my boss begins to tell me that like, "Oh, his mom said that he has schizophrenia." And I was like, "You gotta be shitting me, dude. Like, fuck." And he was like, "Listen, I need you to go back and pick him up." And I was like, "Are you shitting me, dude? Like, no way. And listen, so then I was like, "Whatever," you know what I mean? And he goes, "Plus, he also told his mom that his wallet's still in your truck." So I was like, "God damn it." Sure enough, it was right in the old diode holder, the big old fat diode holder, right? And
it's a Diode 5. You've never seen one of those. You've only driven for 3 years.
Thank you, Brad. So I go back to pick him up, right? And I'm on the phone with my boss, and I'm like, "Where is he?" And he said, "He's still in the driveway where you left him." This is like 45 minutes gone now, right? And I go back to get him, and the kid's not there. And I'm on the phone, and I'm like, "Boss, he's not there." He's like, "What?" He was like, he told his mom he was still there waiting for you. I was like, "Dude, he's not here." He was like, "Go down the street and see if you see him a little bit more." I'm driving down the street in the woods, all right? Not a gas station in sight. And I can't find this kid. This kid can't be found. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know where this kid is, man, and I'm wasting my time, bro." And he's like, "Well, we can't have a lost schizophrenia kid now out in the middle of nowhere now, can we, David?" I was like, "Oh, my God." So sure enough, I pull up a little bit further where it gets to like one of like the main highways there, and the kid is hitchhiking. He's hitchhiking for a ride. And of course, as soon as I drive up, what happened? Someone pulls over to pick him up in a truck. And
Like a semi?
No, a pickup truck.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that I call my boss back. I was like, listen, he was just hitchhiking. Somebody just picked him up. I'm done tracking this kid. I'm getting back to work. It's peak season. I don't want to deal with this, you know? And then he's like, all right, whatever, man, get it done. I go back to work. It's still not the end of this kid. Okay. 2 hours later, I get a phone call from my supervisor again. He goes, listen, we just had an accident over here on this side of town, all right? And the kid is at the gas station at the town over from you where he got dropped off from the hitchhiker. I need to pick him up, bring him back to you, and then go to this accident. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I said, wow. I have his wallet. Tell the mother I'll be back to the building by 7 o'clock. She can come get his son, and I'll come get his wallet later. Like, no, But what happens? He brings and meets me with the kid after I just dumped his ass on the side of the road. All right. So now here's the fun part. I had to come up with a story. I'm sorry, I'm rambling on here. I had to come up with a story.
14 minutes.
I know. I had to come up with a story to tell this kid to make myself not look like a jackass now because he's gonna be he's gonna be on the truck with me. So I had to tell a little white lie, right?
Yeah, Brad.
So
Okay, what's the white lie?
So the white lie, what I told this kid was, I said, listen, when I dropped you off, I went to go do a couple stops that we passed. And he was like, oh. And I was like, yeah. And then what happened was I ended up getting stuck. I couldn't get out, man. And I said, I don't have your cell phone number because you met me at the building. So I couldn't call you, And I said, when I went to come back to get you, you weren't there. I said, and then I had my friend who lives a few houses down from here with his tractor come over and pull me out, And like, that's the lie I had to tell this kid. I was like, dude, yeah. I was like, listen, you can't tell anybody I got stuck, okay? Because I'll get in trouble for that.
Yeah. That was leaving helpers on the side of the road, thinking you're done with them, and then they end up back with you on the car. And then you got to come up with a little lie to just, why did I leave you?
And what's funny is like the fucking great stories get retold, and I'm sure that's probably been told. If I had to bet on it, I like to bet over under. I would say it's been told on at least. I would bet the over on 3 episodes. I would say 4.
Oh yeah.
But it's such a good one, and that leads into this next one because it's been retold probably a few times as well. And that was episode 11 with Paul Jones, which is a good episode to listen to. It has a whole vast of everything.
100%.
It gets emotional. He talks about his father, and then he talks about some crazy things that it's incredible that the guy.
How many lives does he have? He said he had 4 lives left, I think.
I mean, damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Spaghetti Highway that looks exactly like it sounds. I mean, that's a good one to listen to. But that would be the first time that it was heard that I got hit by a car and totaled it. And that's been, and that legend's lived locally and throughout probably the Northeast, not quite the U, but I would say if you would stretch it, it's made mid East Coast legend, I would say, because the story's been told outside of this area.
So yeah, here is Luke's story. The very first time he told it, Luke totaling a car.
Now you're making me think about when I got clothes cut off of me in the hospital and
Go ahead.
I had an intramural basketball shirt that I about fought the hospital. That was after getting hit by a car, but that was
Wait, you've gotten hit by a car?
Well, that was a drunken. Yeah, when I was 21, I got
fucked the car up.
To do. That's what I said. I was like, I kind of had. I know his feeling with the forklift a little bit, but no, I mean to summarize that I was 21.
Yes, please.
And West Virginia just got beat in the Sweet 16, and they got beat by a buzzer shot, and I was fucking devastated. I don't remember if I bet on it. I probably did, but I mean, West Virginia lost, so I was fucking done. And so we had a guy that was from Virginia, and he always anyway, he said something kind of talking a little shit, and I was like, well, it ended up coming down to having a one-on-one case race the following day. Like I said, remember, these were college years, so this seemed like a civil, diplomatic way to solve this. Well, so I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. And now remember, I was 280 something at this point. I mean, I was in football shape. I was brick shit house at this point. So I was hammered. Obviously, I wasn't like walking away fine. I went to a place, got thrown out in about 2 minutes because I couldn't stand up, and walked out in the car. The funny thing is, and I hate to say this is funny because the kid that hit me, his brother had got his tonsils out or something. He was going to the hospital to see his brother. He was only 16 years old, and drunken nomad stumbles out in the road, and he hit me going 30 miles an hour. And so I bounced off a car. I was the only person that witnessed this. That poor kid was crying so hard that he thought he was laughing. And so then they stopped, and I started to get up, and they were like, holy shit, you need to. So literally it knocked my shoes off my feet, and I was like, where are my docs at, man? So I was looking for my shoes, and everybody started coming out like, you got to sit down. We got to take you to the hospital. I was like, no, I'm fine. And I was trying to play it off, and I didn't realize the seriousness of the situation, I guess, because I didn't. The car was totaled. The whole frame was smashed to shit. It was fucked, and it was. Anyway, what I was getting at,
why does that not surprise me? I just feel like you just looked at it and just Hulk smashed it as it was coming towards you.
Listen, that dude, the dude that was there, my friend that was outside with me, because he was the one that went with me in and went with me out, because he was like, I'll get him out of here, and I just walked out and zigzagged in the road.
Oh shit.
He said when they stopped, like I was face down in the road, like they thought I was dead. I didn't move for I didn't move for like 20 seconds. And he said the kid just he stopped crying and looked, and then he looked over and he said, I just stood up and was like, where are my docs at? Just started walking around, and it was so that I can't believe I'm telling this story, but this was 1 year before I got hired by the company, by the way, so I wasn't working for them. But I had an intramural basketball shirt on. Intramural was like at my college, it's basically like fake basketball. We weren't playing for our school. We just had teams, and we'd play each other. And I loved this shirt. So when I went to the hospital, they eventually made me go, and I was coherent, and they started to cut my jeans off. And I was like, okay, I'll get this shirt. And they're like holding me, and they said, oh, the cricket shit. Anyway, I'll just say they tried to cut it off, and it took like 4 of them to pin me down because I was refusing to it, and that was it. But I was saying, I feel the pain on getting the clothes cut off. I got to get this cricket.
Where is the cricket?
It's in Louisiana.
I know where it is. I'll kill it. Or not kill it, but at least shut it up.
He has a pet cricket that's just chilling in his basement somewhere.
And every time
because normally I have everything set up down here, because normally we do this at night, and I'm loud, so I do it down here so I don't wake Ashley up. But yeah, this fucking cricket is going haywire. Give me one.
I think he's about to go smash it right now like he did to that car. But
can you imagine what he's going to do to the cricket? I just
totally
smash
his body totaled the car. What the fuck?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Sometimes my right leg still hurts like hell, but I mostly don't. I mean, it's just, I'm not hobbled by it. I may be down the road, but it definitely doesn't help.
It was still so funny to me when you said you were just lying there face down on the pavement for like 20 seconds, and the person thought you were dead. And then you just got up. We say your docs flew off.
Yeah, the best fucking thing was when you get a police report. Well, I don't know if you've ever gotten a police report or not. No, I'm just acting like just casual conversation. When you get a police report on when something happens on your, but anyways, I didn't get in any criminal trouble, but the police report on that was the best. That was so long ago. I can't remember if I even mentioned it on that episode, but the police report literally said, because they have to, anything that's said between either you or whoever they're talking to gets written down.
Yeah.
And there was like 3 people total. Well, 2 people that saw it, because I would have been the 3rd, but the other person I didn't know. And they had it. It wasn't fucking like the handwriting wasn't exactly great, but it literally said it looked like something out of a Terminator movie, because I laid there motionless and then just got up and started walking like, where's my docs? So I don't even remember if I fucking brought that up. I probably did. So if I repeated it, I'm sorry. But yeah, that was probably my favorite part. If I could find that police report, which I do
think
not
you said
have,
that too.
I would. God dang it,
Yeah.
dang it. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's just,
It's
yeah,
good.
that
It's a good
is-
one. Good stories.
It
You have a good
is.
story.
That was one to laugh at.
The next one
Shit.
is going all the way back to I shouldn't even say all the way back. It sort of is in a way from us, but it's not the first time we had this guest on. It was the second time that we actually had this guest on. And guys, I'm talking about Gio, also known as Pissed Off Yorker. You guys have seen him on the IG page. His episode was very emotional. The second time he was on, it was very emotional. Everybody knows him to be, just a funny a funny guy, but everybody has their seriousness to him as well. So guys, here, let's just get into it. Okay, enjoy this episode. This is episode 44 with Pissed Off Yorker. Here we go.
One topic I wanted to bring up today, which is something that a lot of people probably going through, is depression and fucking how people get down and shit. And what people got to realize is that everybody goes through their own struggle. And I got a story about my dad. Now, my dad, he's old school. He's 74 years old right now. And the things he did just to get here to America, like, I want to share that with everybody. That way people could maybe see that story and say, you know what, my life ain't that fucking bad. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast and if you live in America, this is by far the best country in the world. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm in the military. You guys know this. Been in for 17 years. And I serve with dignity and pride because I love this country. And I wasn't born in this country. And the story of my dad, how he came here and the struggles that he went through, I think it'll help people that are feeling down and depressed right now and they think that their life ain't shit. I wanted to share that with you guys. I actually wrote it down because it's easier to just read it off.
The floor is yours, brother.
All right. So let me put this shit right here. If you guys have questions in between, fucking go ahead and ask. All right. So the story I'm about to tell you guys, it could be the key that unlocks someone else's mental prison of being depressed and sad. My dad wasn't afraid to tell it to me, even though it was his darkest moments in his life. I asked him if it was okay for me to share it today, and he said to do it because it may help someone that's feeling like life sucks and their life's not worth living. So everyone has their story, and we all go through shit in life. Life's hard. Now, I've been in war. 3 years of my life has been war. I've lost friends, brothers in those wars. And I've seen and felt what hell is. But what my father had to do, what he had to go through so that I can have the American dream and be here with you fuckers, it reminds me that my struggles, my depressions, my PTSD, my heartbreaks, my life is not that fucking bad. And I'm hoping that by me telling you guys this story, it will make you guys see that maybe life ain't as bad as you think. That's the intro. So let me get a fucking breather, man. Let me get a drink real quick. If I fucking tear up while I tell you guys this,
It's all good.
Brother, so far it's been very well said, man. And
just letting you guys know.
I wear my emotions on my sleeve too, brother. So
bro.
you absolutely have no. I understand. Trust me. My wife Ashley, she's going to bed. She came down like 10 minutes ago. Told me to tell you guys hello. But yeah, if she was down here, she would agree. So yeah, you're good, brother. You're good.
All right. So when I was 16 years old, I asked my dad, "Hey, Dad, how did we get here to America?" You know, that day changed my life. He sat me down, turned off the TV that he was watching, and he told me his story. You know, my father and my mother are both from the Dominican Republic. For those of you that do not know where that's at, it's in the Caribbean. It's an island that's shared with Haiti, in between Puerto Rico and Cuba. So my father was raised on a farm in the countryside of the island in a poor town. He's uneducated. He never went to school. He lived off the land. And whatever he had from working on that land. The only thing he could do right is his name. So, see, back then in the Dominican Republic, there was rich and poor. That's it. There was no middle class. My father knew one thing, and that was to work hard and not complain. He met my mother, and that's when he had a purpose in his life. He loved her so much that he wanted to give her a better life, and he was willing to do anything to get it. So he managed to get a job at a water bottling plant where he worked 14-hour days, 6 days a week, and never complained. It didn't pay much, but he went with a purpose, a mission. He had a plan to save up enough money so he could give my mom a better life. See, back in the 1980s, in order for you to get a visa to leave the country, you need to have money, real estate, and a stable job. Without this, you won't get a visa. You can't leave the country. After 3 years of working, he saved up about $2,200, which back then was a shit ton of money. My father's plan was to leave the country, drive to the end of Haiti, take a boat to Cuba, get to the end of Cuba, and take a boat to Mexico and cross into the United States. America, the land of opportunity. He told him, my dad's older brother, he already made the trip. He went by boat and he landed in Miami and took a Greyhound to New York. And he told him, don't go by boat. Why? I don't know. I guess he didn't want him to go through the same hell that he went through. All right. The day I was born in 1983. The day I was born, my father left my mother. He watched me come into this life, held me, and promised me that he would see me again. He kissed my forehead, gave me to my mom, kissed her, and walked out of the hospital. I did not know any of this shit until that moment. I was in shock as I sat there listening. He said it was the hardest thing he ever had to do. From the $2,200 that he had saved up, he gave my mom $1,000. Him, his younger brother, and 6 of his childhood friends started the journey together. And they got all the information of the different coyotes that will take them from country to country. So you guys know what coyotes are, right?
Yeah.
For anybody who's listening, coyotes are human traffickers. They basically help people go from one place to another. They take people from one country to another. All right. So in total, there were 16 men that took this journey. Getting through Haiti and crossing to Cuba was easy. He said once he got to Cuba, things got very hard. The coyote that was in Cuba waited for them. Everyone paid their fee and jumped in pickup trucks. They spent 6 days stopping during the daytime and driving at night, never leaving the back of the truck, not even to use the bathroom. For food, they would give them apples, fruit, bread, and 4 gallons of water that they had to ration out. When they got to the other end of the island, there was a boat waiting for them, and it took them into Mexico. 3 days at sea. After 3 days at sea, they got to Cancun, Mexico, where the Mexican coyote was waiting to collect his money. 4 men could not pay what was asked. They were shot on sight. 2 of them were my dad's friends. They were asking for $500 for the trip to the border, where there they would have to pay another coyote to get them through the border into the States. His trip through Mexico, he said, was something he will never forget. They would travel in minivan with dark tinted windows, no seats in the back, just the driver seat and the passenger seat. They would have to lay flat on the floor, one on top of the other, with no room to breathe or move, covered with bags full of coffee beans. It was always at night that they traveled and would stop only to get fuel. He said he could smell the gas when they stopped. He told me that they would get to some military checkpoints and the guys would say that they were transporting coffee beans. Sometimes they would check, but they never got caught, luckily. They would be in this position all night until they got to the next safe house. When they were in the house during the day, all they got was water and leftover scraps that the coyotes would give them. Some fruit, tortillas with beans. Some days they didn't even eat. They were told not to go outside. It was like this for 47 days. 5 guys died on the way to the border. One was my dad's friend. My dad's friend died. He was basically he suffocated. So the vans, they had like a bottom compartment, and then they would lay in that bottom compartment. Then they would put like a sheet over them, and they would put bean bags. So like the van in the back was full of bean bags, and they would have to lay on top of each other. And with the bean bag weight, he said that his friend was saying, I can't breathe. And then he just stopped talking. And 4 or 5 hours later, when they got to the next safe house, he just didn't get up. So he already lost 3 of his friends, his childhood friends that he was raised with.
Damn.
Yeah. So when they got to the border, the next coyote, he took all their money, gave everyone a gallon of water, some food, and said, tonight we leave. Nightfall hit, they drove, then went on foot. The coyote said, keep up. If you get lost, you're on your own. They crossed the border into Arizona through the Sonoran Desert. My father, uncle, and 3 friends, they tied a rope around themselves so they would not separate. At one point, my uncle fell from exhaustion and they lost track of the coyote. They stopped, it was dark, and they waited until the sun came up so that they can see. Morning came and it got hot. They used the sun as a guide. 3 days went by, got to the point where they ran out of water. Exhausted and dehydrated, they fell one by one. My uncle and my father's friends died of dehydration. My father was alone, lost, torn of losing his baby brother and all his friends, but he kept on walking. He says he kept repeating my mom's name and my name over and over and over again. And he just kept going north. That was his motivation. Then he saw a fence with a dirt road on the other side. At first, he said he thought he was seeing shit, hallucinating. But then he saw a pickup truck coming down the road. He mustered up what little energy he had and climbed that fence, waving his arms at the truck. He was saved. The man saw him and picked him up, gave him water. Luckily, he spoke Spanish. He took my dad to his house and gave him food and a cold beer, Coors Light. He said that it was the best beer he has ever had. My dad wanted to get to New York to his older brother who lived in Queens. The man gave him money and told him what he needed to do to get to New York by Greyhound bus. He told the man he would pay him back, thanked him, and went on his way. No English, not knowing anyone, he managed to get to New York via Greyhound with the instructions the man gave him. When he got to his brother's apartment, his brother didn't recognize him at first. He saw a skinny, pale man. My dad weighed 185 pounds when he left the Dominican Republic. And when he got to New York, he weighed 102. He lost 83 pounds. It took him about 3 months to finish his journey. He looked at his brother with tears in his eyes and said, "It's me. I'm sorry. I couldn't save him," meaning their baby brother. My uncle hugged him and they just cried. They called my mom, told her that he made it. And after a few days, he got his strength back. My uncle worked in a pizzeria in Brooklyn and got him a job there. He sent my mom money via Western Union. He applied for residency. Once he became a permanent resident, he asked for me and my mom. I was 4 years old when I saw my father for the first time. He brought us to the States when I was 6 years old. The man that helped him in Arizona, he paid him back and brought him a cold case of Coors Light to drink with him. They're still friends to this day. Now, what I have done in my life, it doesn't compare to his sacrifice and courage. And I'm hoping that this story opens the eyes to people that are feeling down right now and that are feeling depressed for whatever reason. Life is good, even when it's not. People got to understand that there's going to be hard times. Life's not meant to be fucking easy. And you're going to go through your struggle. But it might not be as bad as you think. It's all in your head. And that's my dad's story right there. The reason I'm here is because of him.
The story he tells about his family traveling, across the border and shit is God, just man,
Dude,
like,
yeah, it hits home for people, like you and I. That's like I said to him after when we were, like like when you hear that, especially because obviously I was born in West Virginia, you being born in presumably New York. I think I should know that by now. Episode 99.
it's safe
But
enough.
yeah, that's what I mean. So like we can always, like, you see what you see on like the news, whatever, but to actually hear from, and and he's such a good fucking storyteller too, man. Like he's like
Oh yeah.
so coming, and that also, I mean, he was telling a story, but he was telling his father's story, and it was coming from the heart, and it just like you could just, if there was somebody to be able to tell their father's story well, Gio definitely did it.
Absolutely.
And I fucking can't look it up right now. I tried to fucking look for it real quick, but if you went to his Pissed Off Yorker page, he has he started a company called, I don't know if it's called Patriot Empire. I think it is, but it's real estate and what he's kind of shifted towards, and he's not, hopefully pretty soon he can hang up the
You are correct. Patriot
the
Empire.
shorts. Is it Patriot Empire? Good. Good. I thought it was. I fucking I didn't know if there was something else into it. I couldn't look it up. But yeah. Good dude, man.
Absolutely.
Good dude.
The next interview we have, this is episode 42, featuring my father, actually, Vic Wirhowski, and a couple great stories he has on there as well. 25 years, safe driver, completely retired now, 30 years in and out. The story he tells, just be prepared to just piss your pants, because when he tells a story about the center manager that took him out to dinner with a couple other supervisors, Just wait, guys. Wait to hear it if you haven't yet. Okay, here is episode 42 with Vic Wirhowski.
As much as like I said, they're a tough company to work for, you won't hear me badmouth them too much because they did provide a great living. My wife didn't have to work. She was able to stay home, take care of the kids and the house and so on and so forth. They provide a good living. They take care of you, with benefits, and the union takes care of you with benefits. And so you won't hear me badmouth them. I know they work you hard, but they are a really good company to work for.
Yeah, and that's even the one thing too, which I've said many times on here on this show as well, is that every guest we have on, you don't hear one bad thing, about the company. You don't hear anything. We don't badmouth them. Nobody has badmouthed them before. I mean, we had one guy who on social media on our Instagram account was like, why don't you guys talk about this and that on there and this and how they're doing that to you and this, that. It's like, dude, like that's not what we're here for. Obviously, we're here to meet people and get to know them and their life story. And like Luke said, you hear that at every center you go to anyways. So just hang around with some people and you'll hear it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you'll get a bad apple or two, come through in management. Like I was telling the story about this guy, George, who was, trying to, further himself by bringing me down.
Yep.
But, that happens anywhere, right? Any company.
Right.
Where people are, just trying to get ahead at any cost, no matter who they hurt or step on the way up.
Yeah.
So, but as a company, that's the exception, not the norm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what, I've always, like, for the most part, people, it's definitely, it's not an easy job. We know that, but it's not, I feel like when you go into it, like I can't stand, because people, I'm not, people that complain, you go into it, you're not working a 9-to-5 job.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's what people to this day, they can't understand, to where, like a couple years ago, and this still happens with my family, but this was actually a good friend of mine, West Virginia, 2000, so the year before COVID, this was 2019. West Virginia was playing Oklahoma on Friday, and this was Friday night game, and it was a big game. And he asked me, he had an extra ticket, and he asked me to go with him, and I was like, man, if I can, I will. And he's like, well, what? You don't think you can? You won't be done by, you don't know if you'll be done by like 6:30.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, dude. I was like, I would love to be there. Trust me. I'm going to do everything I can, but there might just be things that are out of my control here.
Yep.
It's like, I might get the green light and cancel everything.
Yeah. Exactly. I can't tell you how many, ball games I missed and so many things, eating together as a family at night,
Right.
But that going in,
Right.
Certainly this job isn't for everybody. If you want a job where you don't have to work hard, make a lot of money, and be home every night at 5:00, well, this job's not for you. Because when you go in every day, you may be able to get home at 5:00 on Monday, but come Tuesday it might be 7:00. On Wednesday it might be 6:00. You just never know. So,
right.
But that going in, and if that's the kind of life you want, then then take this job. Yeah, yep. But it pays off in the end. Like I said, with pay, benefits, retirement, and we could talk about that in a little bit. But that's all. It's all good. It's all good.
And I've said it to Dave and on the pod on a few episodes. I can't. I went to school at first. I graduated with a criminal justice degree, but I went to school at first to be I went into accounting, and it makes me laugh so hard when I think of me as an accountant, because I was like, I can't see me sitting behind any desk.
Right.
And now, because that's one thing I do love. That's, you got the pros and cons of working outside, as we were talking about with,
obviously the winter, and it can be hot and really cold, rainy, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're outside. You take the good with the bad, and I wouldn't change that. I wouldn't change that for any office job.
Yeah. Well, there was I'm going to say 3 times over my career where they tried to get me to go into management. Where they would actually take me out, wine and dine me, take me to like the fanciest, like seriously, one time the center manager, division manager, district manager, so 3 levels up the food chain, came to the center and they said, Vic, we're going out. We'd like you to come with us. Okay. All right. And we went out. I mean, we ate, we drank, man, I mean, like I would never take my family to this place because I couldn't afford it, So anyway, we got done and the district manager's paying, and I see him whip out after the bill came. I mean, he's whipping out hundreds and then 50s, and I mean, it was, but I wouldn't take it. Then one time, center manager goes, Vic, I want to talk to you. Why don't we go out to dinner? Your wife, my wife, and we'll go out to dinner. I want to talk to you. He goes, on me, on him. I said, okay. So we went out, had a nice dinner, and he's trying to get me to go into management, and I'm like, listen, I don't want to. Because in management, when they say jump, you don't ask how high. You just start jumping and hope it's high enough.
Right. Right.
So the center manager, he got up to go to the bathroom, and his wife is sitting there at the table. And I asked her, I said, listen, I just got to ask you your perspective. What's it like being married to a center manager? She goes, Vic, don't go into management. She's like, shh, don't go into management. Don't go into management. So why not? And she goes, because when you go into management, you have to eat, shit, piss, and cum brown, because if you do any other color, you're gone. Yeah, I swear that's what she said to me.
Oh,
and I was like, okay.
Shout out to that basic wife. That's such a good analogy right there.
Because that's it. So that's exactly what she said to me. Any other color and you're gone. I was like, okay.
Oh man.
Yep.
And that's like, and then you can also, one thing I haven't been, when I first started to drive, probably right before that, because I thought about for a while trying to go into loss preventions, because I thought maybe I could use my degree for that and maybe actually, but I never wanted to, I like, that's how I don't like, the thing is you can try. I don't know how it is where you guys are at, but our on-road soups, they can get transferred and have to go, wherever far enough away that you're going to have to move. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're going to have to uproot, and that's another thing that if it would be different if you had some type of say in it, but you don't. Right. Like you said, like that center manager's wife just said, you eat, sleep, cut, everything. So wherever they point, you're going.
Right. Exactly. Yep.
All right. So 30 years now retired. Or 30. Yeah, I'm retired for 30 years.
5 years retired.
5. Yes. 5 years retired. What advice do you have for the drivers, for the younger crowd?
Oh my goodness. Let's see. One step at a time, don't try to be a hero, one step at a time, one package at a time, one stop at a time. Eventually the truck gets emptied, and then thank God you get to go back and do it again tomorrow. That you have a job, and just remember, it's their game. It's their rules. Just play by their rules. If you want to play their game, play by their rules, and you'll be all right. They can't fire you. They can't get rid of you for doing the right thing. So just do the right thing every day. You get to go home, enjoy your family, and in 30 years, you get to retire with a great pension. You
can touch on that too if you want.
I will. I'll be happy to touch on that. When I retired 5 years ago, and I went up to the union hall, signed all my paperwork, they said, Vic, we will give you, I'm going to give you round numbers. All right. These aren't the exact numbers, but they're fairly close. They They said, Vic, we're going to give you $5,000 a month for the rest of your life. And then if you should pass before your wife, we're going to give her half of that for the rest of her life. I said, sign me up. Where do I sign? I signed that paperwork quick as I could, like, yeah, show me the money. So, and I figured, I've been paying into that for 30 years and the company's been paying into that. So, it's all good. I have this money coming. Well, anyway, about a year into my retirement, I got a letter going, hey, guess what? The pension's running out of money. So what we're going to have to do is cut your pension. And because I was in the younger crowd, because I retired when I was 55, I had 30 years and I was 55 at the same time. So I was able to leave at age 55. They go, we're going to cut your pension by a third. I said, what? So then instead of 5,000, I'm getting, whatever. So whatever a third of 5,000 is. So then I'm like, okay, well, that changed everything for, the planning that my wife and I had to, just sit on the porch and watch the sun rise or set or whatever direction our house faced, that was the plan, and then be able to go visit the family, go do whatever we wanted to do. Well, when they cut the pension by a third, that was a game changer. So, my wife and I each got part-time jobs, and, we're loving life in Virginia Beach with our part-time jobs and all that. Well, now with the passage of this last stimulus package by the House and Senate and signed into law by President Biden, included in that stimulus package is a lot of pork, but part of that pork is a quote unquote bailout of the multi-employer pensions. So in other words, long story short is that now my pension will be restored to 100%, that $5,000 a month for the rest of my life. Plus I will get retro pay for the third that has been lost for the last 3.5 years. So now when I say a bailout, I also want to just say that it's not like the government's going to say, here's the money, you don't have to pay it back. The unions, multi-employer pensions will have to pay that back at a very, very, very low interest. But anyway, included in that stimulus package was a bailout of the union. And so, knock on wood, I'll take it. I'll take it.
So eat, sleep, piss, shit, come brown. I believe that was all of them. He said,
Man, and dude,
coming from a center manager's wife's mouth. Don't do it. Don't do it. All you're going to do is eat, sleep, shit, piss, brown. Like eat whatever, eat, piss, slip, whatever the hell he said. But it's like, even the wife is like, I don't know. I don't like my husband in this job.
Oh man. What a way to cement it, man.
You know?
What a way to cement it. And that's so I mean, and I've said this before too. I didn't say it on that episode, so you wouldn't have heard it then, but man, when that came out of your dad's mouth, I wasn't ready for it really mentally.
None of
And
us
dude,
were.
I wasn't. I was dying inside, dude. I was fucking losing it. I was like, holy fucking shit, this is incredible. But I've said it before and I've said it again that I've always your dad's episode I always thought was I would like to get I would like to get somebody. How many years retired was he then? Fuck, that's been a year now, right?
3 years retired, 4 years retired now. Yeah.
I know a couple of drivers that have been retired around then. I'd still like to get disgruntled Doug on.
Yo, hell
he
yeah,
hasn't
dude.
been
Definitely.
he hasn't been retired that long, but dude, he has like a lawn care business. That's motherfucker just cuts grass
Unreal.
all day now.
Unreal.
Yeah, doesn't stop.
So the next one we have, last but not least, guys, is episode 74, and that is the struggle with mental health. It's obviously a well-known issue that a lot of people deal with, and a lot of
Right.
people don't seek help for it. And that's all you got to do is talk to someone about it. It could be anybody. And not only that too, but the other side, your friends who you know are dealing with it, or you may not even know are dealing with it, and just in general, ask someone how are you? How's your day? It just takes a little bit like that to really change someone's mood for the positive side of things. So, you got anything else to add to that, Luke?
No, I mean, it is something that needs to be, can't stress enough. It is something that needs to be brought up more.
Yeah.
And it also, stigma is us being dudes. That stigma is probably, I don't want to say it's worse,
Mm.
but it definitely is not fucking worse. I didn't mean it that way, but I just to bring it up because was this gets released, this wasn't that long ago. That's what I was talking about. I put that in the docs before we decided to do an episode. We had this idea. I had something in the docs prior to this, but it was a UFC fighter that his name is Paddy the Batty something. They were fighting over in England, and I shouldn't say something, but I don't follow it as well as I used to. But after he won, and this would have been Saturday night or Saturday night over there. It was evening here, and he got a text like Friday morning that his best friend committed suicide.
Mm.
And he was just like, if he would have just spoke to someone or talked to me, whatever, he was like, he said that, brought up that stigma. He's like, dude, you got to be a tough guy. You don't need to start talking.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant by that. Definitely not. That,
Not,
you know what I
and
mean.
then also, we even got I know you saw it too. We got the message from Tammy Martin that a driver from Redding, California, just killed himself this past Wednesday. And it's I mean, first of all, our, deepest condolences to his family, the driver's family, the hubs, the center out there in Reading. I know we got a lot of California listeners. I don't know if anybody here is working out of that hub there from where that driver was from. But no, we're thinking about you guys and sending our thoughts and prayers with you guys. So
Yeah, absolutely.
so guys, it's fucking real. It's real life, and like Luke
It
said,
is real.
It doesn't get bought up enough. So with that said, here is episode 74 with Tammy Martin and Samantha Tafoya.
Stress is a big trigger for me. And guess what our job is? Huge stress. Huge stress. Huge stress. And but something I want to get out there is just for the people who are going through this, have family members, anybody out there that's going through this, is that we have some tools that can help you while you are going through this, especially Teamsters out there who are going through this. We have short-term disability that you can use up to 26 weeks. If you need to,
is super aware. They give you the, EAP.
You can go to treatment. We've got Teledoc now, where you can find a therapist on Teledoc. And if you don't want to do it during the week, because it's hard to do that during the week when, like on my route, I don't have Wi-Fi when I get out there in the mountains, in the Boston mountains. And so, but you can do it on the weekends. And it may take you going through like 3 therapists to finally find your therapist that works for you. You want to find a good psychiatrist so you can get your meds straight, because that was a big deal for me. Trying to get your meds.
Doctor. The family doctor is good too if you've been seeing them a long time.
My family doctor is absolutely amazing. Amazing. I mean, been terrific. And your family doctor, but we have some tools in place that can help you, that you don't have to just work through it. even if you're going through alcohol, I mean, if you're having problems with substance abuse, alcohol abuse, mental health issues, you know, you can take some time off for self-care and take care of yourself.
Don't
and
lose your job, you know.
Don't lose your job.
This is your livelihood.
Yeah, see, I went through this while I'm off, even though I had been approved, my boss is telling me that he's going to fire me. So guess what? That is just putting me further stressing me out.
Piling it up.
That was actually a question that I had, was that privately, how did they handle the situation? Because I remember you had told me before a little bit that your boss was kind of being a prick.
As someone who's never been a driver, who's never gone through those kind of stressors like we go through.
Right.
At least for years, you know, they might have their 30 days, but that doesn't mean anything. Like,
this dude never drove
for
a day.
years.
This dude never drove a day.
Didn't even do 30 days, huh? Shit.
No.
Damn.
No.
More shame.
But thank God
Right.
for my immediate supervisor. He used to be my neighbor driver. And thank God for him, because if it wasn't for him, I'm sure that they would have did whatever they could to have fired me. But if he told me, I don't want to fire anybody. But I had to email my boss the approval letters showing that I had been approved for my leave. And when you're going through depression, you do not want to have to deal with shit like that.
You don't have to deal with anything.
You don't want to deal with anything. And what's bad is you're bad about procrastinating about everything. Or I am with my diagnosis. You procrastinate, you put things off that you don't want to have to deal with. I mean, you put off doctor appointments, you put off therapy appointments. And for me, the one thing I was going through TikTok one day, and I heard a video that said, nobody is coming. Nobody's coming. And that just really got me and made me realize that I've got to get a hold of myself, because I mean, I have so many things to look forward to. Even though I was feeling like I had nothing to look forward to, I put myself, you know, in a bad financial, you know, being off work for 3 months, feeling like I was in complete despair. And then I started thinking about all the things that were great in my life. You know, that I owned my own house, that I have a car that's paid off, have 3 beautiful children who are doing great, have 3 beautiful grandkids who love me, that are wonderful. I have a family that would do anything in the world for me, but they didn't know what to do. And I will say to that, if you know someone that's going through depression and isn't able to get out of bed, and if you are able to go buy them some groceries, if you are able to come over and wash their dishes, take out their trash, come over, say, hey, do you want to go for a walk? You know, is there something I can do to help you? That sweep the porch, just check their mail. Simple things like that.
I think even just a phone call.
Absolutely.
Just to be like, hey, this is a check-in. I want to see how you're feeling. What have you been up to? You know?
Yes. Just to know that someone cares about you, because I mean, and the thing about it is, with depression, there is no cure, but there is remission. And try to get yourself, you know, like what I've done is I've written down a list of goals for this year. I've hired a fitness trainer, nutritionist, just to get myself, you know, because you need to nourish your body. You need self-care to, you know, you need to fitness helps. Just if you go in the gym and you walk on a treadmill for 20 minutes, you're still going to be helping yourself.
And that was episode 74, guys, with Samantha Tafoya and Tammy Martin. It was that was that was probably one of the most realist episodes I think we've recorded personally on a personal level. And for, Tammy to talk about what she went through in her childhood and the struggles that Sam deals with as well. Like we said before we got into it, that it doesn't get brought up enough. The talks don't happen enough. So, but we're here. First of all, we are here if anybody needs to talk. Like, send us a DM,
for sure.
Don't hesitate.
Because the go back to, this is another stigma, and this isn't a gender stigma, but this is a driver stigma.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate, this is a thing, like going back to that driver that's doing that, the stigma that it does need to be brought up more, and to keep bringing it up over and over, because when that happens, this is the sad part. If you ask anybody that drives, like, of all the people, especially if they've been there a while, nobody, like, it's not like they're not sad, but they're not stunned. They're not shocked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to say that everybody, or trying to say that our job makes people, but it fucking is stressful, and it fucking can. And if you don't have the right mindset, if you're, I don't want to say the right mindset, but if you're not mentally prepared in the right way, let me put it that way, you gotta have, because, it's a stressful fucking environment, and you are also literally, you put yourself literally in a box for more or less, and you got to deal, if you're fucking not, if you were struggling mentally on something, that could affect you fucking so much more than fucking up your back, or hurting your, having sore knees, or, you know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I myself, I'm one that I totally have to get better at that. So that's why if I came off in any way with this, like, I didn't want to sound like, I never want to sound like insensitive to it, but I definitely am one of those people that would need to fucking, I don't say, I don't just, but, it's just like the era,
Yep.
I'm not, it's just the way, like, that's the way like I said, I love my fucking grandfather. Loved him to death. Dude was my hero. But, he was a Marine in World War II. He was he was a badass. He was from the greatest generation, but they did it just, he got brought up the way my dad, it's just the way I don't, you don't want to keep, I feel like it's getting better over the generations, at least. It gets brought up way more now. Like,
Oh,
think
yeah.
about when we were kids,
Hell yeah.
like, it's shit that wasn't getting brought up like it is now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it has definitely got better. But yeah, Samantha and Tammy were incredible. They did an amazing job, and I couldn't thank them enough, because, like you said, Dave, that was probably that may have been the most real episode we've recorded.
Absolutely.
Right up there. If the two of these that got mentioned of the most real episodes, I would say would be their episode, and then, Gio talking about his dad in episode 44.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm glad we decided to do this this way, and this kind of will lead a little bit into episode 100.
Oh, yeah.
But can't
Phew.
wait for you guys to listen to that. But I hope
Absolutely.
you enjoyed this one.
Absolutely. So, guys, we're going to end it here with the question of the week. It's like the question of the month, actually, because it's been a while since we did one, because we got to get back on track. So, this one is, what is your biggest pet peeve on the job? Here we go, guys. So, biggest pet peeve. Let's start reading off what you guys all had to say. This one here is sent in from Corey Wagner at Coag says, people talking to me when I'm pre-tripping. Biggest pet peeve on the job. People interrupting your pre-trip. That would probably be me. I'm usually the one like socialize, like, hey man, how's it going? Like, as I'm walking around the truck, the other person's walking around like their truck with you, like next to you. You're like, hey man.
But dude, her pre-trip
takes much longer than ours.
Yeah, dude. That's a whole nother fucking. That's a whole nother animal she's dealing with than what we got. If she's listening to this, yeah, Corey, you're probably fucking. She would laugh at that. She would definitely laugh at that.
The next one is from that dude Luke in May. Luke. Luke says, seems like my truck is the training truck for preload. A new preloader every week. God, that sucks.
Yeah, that stings.
Yep. Next one. Shout out to Fitzy. Parcel Savage says, every year I get older, seems I need more piss bottles.
Dude, I know what you mean. Like I was just thinking, like the summertime, I used to barely even piss in them. I would never even have to because I'd just be fucking running. But I'm like, still now, yeah, I get what you're saying, Fitz.
Oh yeah. This one here is from past guest Albert, a dad in the life _1980. Nice name, buddy. I like that. Nice change there. A dad in the life says, the way the company overcomplicates everything.
Amen.
Especially recently. Why?
Fuck.
Why do we have to click some freaking thing that makes a keypad pop up on our dyad, and then we got to type in we got to type in these numbers to log in now, and then you got to hit like the little circle square thing on the bottom to get it to go to the main page where you hit your login. Like, Nate made a good point about this recently. Okay, Nate said there's somebody who's got hired to work for these to work on the programming of these dyads. Right? There's somebody who got hired by the company to work on these dyads. Who says this guy isn't fucking up on purpose for job security?
Well, if you fuck up on purpose, how's that job security? Because they're just going to keep using this shitty fucking dude or woman, whoever the fuck it may be.
But I mean, like,
whoever they are, they're fucking trash at it if that's what they're doing. I can't fucking stand this, dude. Like, we can't do training on the road anymore. We got to stay within we got to stay in the building here. Now, we can't do fucking dyad fives. We were sitting there doing training on the road, fucking being able to go from screen to screen, seeing our pickups individually, just not knowing what we fucking had. I mean, these things, they're way better than they were originally, but they still fucking suck. I mean, dude, they freeze, they fucking restart. They
fat fingering
suck.
every fucking stop. Just and the next thing I know, I pull up my screen to scan. I can't scan because I'm on the stop. That's like 9 stops down. I'm like, God damn it. Gotta hit the back button. Anyways, next one is from who we just heard. Samantha at Amantha says, the people who chronically complain about things out of their control. You know the guy? Yano, you get can you believe they gave me 230 stops and they gave me an ad cut off Riley's area? Right as you walk in, and without even acknowledging there's an existence beyond work. I'm not here to trauma bond over the job anymore. If you can't even say good morning or hello before you start talking about work. Yeah, I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
There's those people in every hub. Every center, there's somebody like that.
There is.
Next one here is from Jay Hill. John Hilliga says, stay cool, stay dry, etc. from customers. And that joke that I'm fed up with. We all know what we're talking about, what joke that is. Also, if you drive my truck, clean out your trash and shit when you're done. I had a brand new truck, and then I was out for a while, and when I came back, I 3/4 filled a DR bag with trash from cab and cargo. Luckily, no lost bottles. My seatbelt connector was taped to the seat, and the whirly thing on the roof was broke. Really? What the ever-loving fuck? Dude, it makes you wonder what goes on when we're away on vacation. Because that happened to me recently. I had two tape guns in my truck, like in my tote with all my stuff. I come back from vacation, they're both fucking gone. They're both gone. When I'm there, they're there every day. I leave for vacation for 1 freaking week. I get back, both tape guns are out of my truck, gone. Like, I fucking need that because the preloaders ain't taping up shit anymore. Like, come on.
I got to bring this up now that you said it because
1 year, my hand cart went missing, and my cooler was out of my truck, like somewhere in the corner of the building. I was just like, what the fuck goes on here?
Dude, about not taping shit. I got to bring this up because you said it. I got to bring up this pool table when we were on the phone. Talking about, and I know there's still good preloaders out there, and I know there's preloaders that listen to this. You guys, you gotta educate your brothers and sisters in there because I couldn't do anything with this thing. The more I picked it up, the more it was just falling apart. I knocked on the door to see if they were home so I could be like, just come down here. You could see this. You'll refuse it. We'll both be happy. Well, you might not be happy.
I'll be happy. I don't have to lock it out of this truck.
Fuck. And we'll have a good old day. But they weren't home, so I had to dolly this thing. Because there was this, oh my God, I don't want to get too far into it, but there was a fucking telephone wire too low in their driveway, so I couldn't pull in. So I had to dolly this thing across the street, and a fucking pool cue falls out. And I was like, what the fuck is this thing? As I get it off the dolly and just slide it towards the garage, it's just falling apart. It's a fucking pool table. Like I put a symbol pool table. I'm like, dude, who the fuck ships a pool table ground shipping? What the fuck do you think's gonna happen? I think probably anyways.
True. Sorry. Next one here. You know what I had happen the other day, actually? I had a piece of furniture and it's a pretty good box. It was like a fucking big old bookshelf, coffee table, something. It was something wood. Okay. And it's leaning up. It's like leaning like on its side. Like down like the middle, it's like standing up on its side. And then like I open up the back door for this one bulk stop, and like I grazed the box with this package that I was picking up off the floor to deliver. I grazed the top of it, and then the fucking top of the box literally just fell open. And all that was exposed that was leaning is all the contents inside. So the just entire big top of the box was just like, it just opened on me. Like, what are we doing loading this shit in my truck when it's not even secured properly? Like the tapes aren't like there's nothing taped on. Anyways, like you said, let's not get too deep into it because we can go forever on that one, huh? Next one is from Old Bald Bearded Bastard. Says, tourist season in my area. They drive like assholes and are always in the way. Although my favorite part is when they ask me for directions because the service isn't strong enough. Let's just say they get a very scenic tour of the area. Next one here is from I Am Lars. Lars says, misloads when I'm trying to get off early. Oh, yeah. Also, every day, my seat height being adjusted way up and forward. I think my car washer is a midget. And of course, piss bottles. Come on, guys, throw it out. True. It's true. We talked about it.
When you said the week vacation thing with tape guns missing, I was going to ask you if there's piss bottles because I feel like I always
didn't we talk about this
when I come back. I feel like we did.
Did we talk about this on the podcast? There was one piss bottle in my truck. And I knew exactly who it was. And I fucking bagged it in the DR bag. went up to him, handed it to him, and said, "Here you go, bud. You can throw this out yourself. Don't leave your shit in my truck. Don't leave shit in anybody's truck. Come on. Clean up after yourselves. Fucking slobs." Next one is from Craft Beer Snob. Says, drivers who leave piss bottles in trucks. Drivers who cry on the daily. It's mainly the young ones who do that. I don't know, emoji. Next one is from good pal. Met him one time. Top Patreon subscriber. Tony Cooks. Tony says, walking into a business in the dead of summer to that first awesome blast of cool air, only to see the lady at the desk sitting with a heater running, complaining about how cold it is there. Fuck off. Listen. My wife is that lady. She has her heaters on at her cubicle because the air conditioning in the place is too cold. Maybe for her case, I think she may be sitting underneath the vent, like directly underneath the vent. And, yeah, I know. I always get mad at her too. I am always mad at her about that. I'm like, you're fucking freezing. Are you shitting me? I'm out here just sweating bullets, sweating my bag off out here, dude. Like, come on. Next one is from Cody's show. That must be Cody. What up, Cody? Cody says, not in 3 wine deliveries. Come on, man. Unsubscribe from the wine club if you're not going to be home. It's true.
No fucking doubt. That's a good one. Yeah.
That is a good one. This one here is from Rocky Mountain Rot. Says, the cutting of routes is my biggest pet peeve. Honorable mention is customers who are outside and see you pull up, then walk inside and close the door. Mm-hmm.
Very fucking true.
Maybe they're scared of COVID and they don't want to come by you.
Nah, but they were doing that shit before COVID too.
I'm just trying to give them benefit of the doubt for the last 3 years.
that's what they'll fucking say now. But yeah, they were doing that shit before.
This is a good one. This is probably one of mine. N Jensen 34 says house numbers that match the color of the house.
Yeah.
You just want to go there with like some paint and just paint it like a bright ass color. Next one is from Rick Star, the one and only DHL driver listener. Says, I'm a big introvert, so I get really mad and uncomfortable when people keep staring at me whenever I arrive at a stop. Come out of the van and drop the package at the door. They swear like they've never seen a yellow van in their lives. I get to the point that I feel like I'm telling them to take a picture. It'll last them longer.
I know what you mean, Rick. To an extent, because I have some people I'll see that
stare.
It'll just be stare. I'm like, what
the
fuck are you looking at?
Dude, I give it about 2 seconds. I see them staring. I check the road again. I look back. They're still staring. And then I beep the horn at them and wave. Hello. Fuck you looking at?
Right.
But anyways, next one is from PT Pab 12. Says customers complaining to me about how hot it is from their air conditioning in their houses and offices, or the people that wait till you are back in your truck to try to refuse a package.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's a bad one.
Yep.
Or that's a good one.
Alan O'Neill, shout out to Alan, says the same drivers that can't seem to ever finish their own work.
Man, we got some fire fucking responses.
This is a good one.
Damn.
I love it.
You everybody here, you are all speaking. You're speaking to me. This is a fucking good one.
Preaching to the choir.
Good question.
Here we go. Sir Stang 67 says, definitely Orion and his idiot ideas on how to run a route, followed closely by hearing, stay cool, stay warm, stay dry. We know.
Yeah.
We know.
So fucking true, right?
It is. It's very true, Next one is from, I'm hearing an echo. I don't know where it's coming from. I think it's coming from me, maybe. But
I think it is.
Sorry about that.
Oh wait.
Next one
from me too.
I don't know. I don't know, honestly. But sorry about it, but we're almost over here. This next one is from Ben Ingersoll says, motherfuckers who leave their truck at or in front of the fuel pumps to take their DOT break or a shower.
Damn, man. That would fucking be. If
Yeah.
I had to deal with that, I would be pissed too.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Next one is from Bud and Andrews. Bud says, you can't fix stupid. Stupid is a pet peeve.
So true.
And that's it.
Damn,
That's all
I'm
we got
sorry.
on the IG page.
My fucking I'm not used to this new shit because of muting, so I know you've probably heard me clear my throat and burp on this, but these are the kinks that are getting worked out because like I'm still pressing it like we're in Zoom. So I apologize if you've heard me clear my throat a bunch tonight. But anyways, we had I think there were 7 comments. I don't know if we got 7. Okay, John Waddell. Hey, this is from Facebook.
Luke, hold on a second. I think I hear an echo because of your output on your computer. Because it's telling me it's coming from your speakers of your computer.
Oh, wait.
Is the output set to
echo cancellation?
Your line Rode A8, A1 in?
Say that again.
Your output. It's hello? Wait, it just fucking went away.
What?
The echo as soon as Nate's video went away.
Huh.
Hello?
Yeah.
Check. 1, 2. Hello? That's weird. All right, Nate, just hang off the screen for a little bit. All right, Luke, and you can pick up on Facebook, okay?
All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
And we got on Facebook, first question from John Waddell.
Hey.
Piss bottles. I understand, but just pour it out. Do not put a cap up on it. Why are you saving it? Well said, John. And that's true. I'm one of the people that put a cap on it sometimes, but I'll dump it out at the end of the day. But he's right.
As long as if you dump it out when you're done with it, like when you're done with the truck.
There. Yeah. From Matt Showstack, not fueling for the next day. Saturday drivers are notorious for this in our center. Dude, it happened at my center a lot too. When I drove Saturdays and I would see shit like, I see a bunch of people just pull in, be all disgruntled and fucking run off. It's like, man, there's going to be somebody pissed off. So that's a good one. Douglas Hillstrom said people pull out of the parking lot, then decide to figure out where they're going while they block traffic. And then there was a comment on it. Leah Foster said, old people do this. Yes, they do. And the last one from Tim Rayleigh, people asking what's in the box.
True. Like
That's
fucking know. But
yeah, dude, you always hear that. Like, I feel like you hear that more at commercial stops because they're just pissed off. They're like, what is it? Like,
right.
Motherfucker, I don't know.
Exactly. Fucking crazy. But well, buddy, I think that's gonna wrap up episode 99.
Yep.
Fucking next one's 100, buddy.
We made it, dude.
We fucking throw a fucking celebration.
Yep.
Holy shit. So much has changed. I'm not even going to start talking about episode 100. I just want to start talking about how much fucking shit we've been through. But we talk about that on episode 100. So yay. You guys get to hear it. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode of On the Delivery, guys. Continue delivering greatness. All right. Continue staying safe. Keep yourselves hydrated. All right, guys. And don't forget your most important stop. All right. Episode 100 is next week. It's a long one, guys. We have hit triple digits now. We will see you guys next week.
Later, everybody.